Welcome back to the Untouchaballs podcast. Caden and Leo here. Caden, how you doing today?
Pretty good, Max. How about you?
I'm doing well myself. No complaints. We have a dead even series
hmm
here, one apiece after the stint in Oklahoma City. Caden, what are your thoughts so far?
Yeah, I mean, this has been an interesting first couple games. I think we'll go into game one a little bit, talk about the game that just happened last night in game two before kind of seeing what we see going forward. But yeah, in game one, the Thunder really dominated the first 3.5 quarters of the game. And then it was the Pacers doing what the Pacers do is you let them stick around for within 20 that they will make a way to come back in this game, it seems like, throughout this entire playoffs. And in this game one, like the Thunder forced 19 first half turnovers. That's an NBA playoff record for first half turnovers. They only got 9 points off those turnovers. So it was a good job from the Pacers. I mean, given a good bit of those were dead ball turnovers, so they had time to set up a defense. But even on the fast breaks, 19 turnovers, only 9 points off turnovers. That really kept them in that game in that first half when it could have very easily gotten out of control. They could have been down 20 or something at half. You're able to come back. And then I think Andrew Nemhard had a great fourth quarter in that
Yes, he
game one.
did.
8 points, like 3 boards, a couple assists in there as well. Like he was awesome in that fourth quarter. Then it
Big
all
three.
came, yeah, big three. Aaron Nesmith with a huge three in that fourth quarter as well. And then Tyrese Halliburton did what he's been doing this entire playoffs, hitting the game winner. No bang from Mike Breen, and somehow that's a conversation. But big game winner to Tyrese to give him that 1-0 lead. It was an awesome game one.
It was, Caden, and like you said, this was the story of the Pacers' resilience, like we've seen throughout this entire playoffs. I said it beforehand too in our last episode. You let them hang around, they're gonna win in the clutch. They're just a better team in the clutch. Like I said, I don't like Oklahoma City in tight ball games. They've shown they're not gonna win those, Caden, throughout the season. That's just kind of a given at this point. I think moving forward, they're gonna need to do what we saw in Game 2 and just blow them out. But looking back on that game one, what was so successful for the Pacers was that, yes, they had all these turnovers and they were atrocious, but they were able to limit the open looks for Oklahoma City. They were able to shift really well, Caden. And although Oklahoma City still got their shots and their points where they needed it, they were more contested and they made them really have to work for it. We didn't see that at all in game two.
No, yeah, because in that game one, Chet and J-Dub combined for like 23 points. They were 8 of 27 from the field, or 8 of 28 from the field, actually, and only made one jumper.
Correct.
The two of them combined made one jumper on 28 shot attempts in that first game. So they had really bad games. You saw big performances out of Obi Toppin and Lou Dort. Both of them hit 5 threes. And if you're the Thunder, like you've seen this throughout the playoffs and season, they're fine giving one of your lesser shooters. They're fine leaving them open for 3. They're going to give up that shot no matter the day because they live with that. You saw it. Like I'm going to go back to the Nuggets series. They left Westbrook open from 3 all the damn time because they're like, yeah, if he has a game and makes 5 threes, we'll live with it, but most likely he's not.
Correct.
And then, yeah, you see this in game 2. They leave Obi Toppin open from 3 again instead of going like 5 for 8 like he did in game 1. Goes 1 of 5 for 3, 1 of 8 from the field, only has 3 points. The defense really, I think, turned it around in this one. And then offensively, J-Dub with 19. Chet had 15. He had a big run early in that first quarter to really get it going. And it was weird in game 1. You didn't see any minutes together between Chet and Isaiah Hartenstein. Because throughout these entire playoffs, they've been running
Smaller.
Chet at the 4 and Hartenstein at the 5. But in game 1 with the Pacers, like this is a smaller team. We're going to try something here. They had Hartenstein come off the bench and started Casey Wallace into the starting lineup. In game 1, we saw 0 minutes together between the two bigs when they've been awesome together in the playoffs, which is weird. So last night, Mark Daigneault made the adjustment. We saw minutes with both Chet and Hartenstein. And that just opens up the offense even more when you have one of the best passing bigs in Isaiah Hartenstein. And then that combo between him and Chet, that little 4-5 lob, is really unstoppable for that offense.
It is, Caden, and we saw so many of those plays where Chet is just uncontested at the rim, lobbing it down, and you can't undermine the fact of the crowd emotion and the energy and the spark that provides. It's not just like a normal 2-point basket, Caden. Those dunks and those big explosive plays are momentum killers, and it's tough for Indiana when your shots aren't falling, the momentum is not dropping, and you're turning around on defense and allowing backdoor cuts on your head all day. It's, creates a unfavorable matchup. But I think that's something they're going to see on film and have to play with coming into game 3.
Oh, for sure. I mean, because especially after seeing that and after seeing what happened in game 1, we might still probably be seeing Caden Wallace in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
But you're still going to be seeing definitely at least probably 10 minutes, probably around a game with Chet and Hardenstein both on the court together, because it helps them defensively down low. And then it just opens up so many different opportunities on the offensive end to create good looks at the basket. We interrupt this episode of the Untouchaballs podcast to tell you about Scratch Golf and Lounge in Westminster. Are you looking for a place to relax and hang with your friends while playing golf? Scratch Golf and Lounge is the premier indoor golf simulator, offering a wide variety of courses on 5 separate bays. Not only that, they offer a wide variety of local cocktails, beers, and wine, as well as some phenomenal small bites and snacks. So rain or shine, no matter the weather, there's a spot for you to fill in that golf itch at Scratch Golf and Lounge, located at 8700 West 101st Ave, Westminster. That's Scratch Golf and Lounge at 8700 West 101st Ave, Westminster. And now, let's get back to the episode.
Correct. So looking into this game 3, Caden, where do you see, this one falling? Who do you think comes against the dub?
Well, yeah, as we're going to game 3, switching over to Indiana, it's going to be like these are the games the Pacers have to win if they want to have a chance in this series. You got to be able to win the ones at home when you're, the big dog.
Correct.
Like we saw with the Thunder, they blew game 1, were able to come back down at game 2. So this is a big one for the Pacers. If they're able to come back and show a statement in game 3, this could be their series. I don't see that happening, particularly as what we saw in game 2, and for the first about 3.5 quarters of game 1, I think is more indicative of this series. Where yes, come late in the fourth quarter, like I saw this, there's this tweet that was put out that they're called the Possum Pacers. They'll play dead the first 3.5 quarters, and then they're there and they're starting their comeback. I think after that game 1 and really getting hit with it, if you're the Thunder, you're going to find ways around it. You're not going to try to settle for buckets or try to go heavy ISO like they did at the end of game 1, especially with Shea. Obviously, his teammates weren't really hitting the buckets, but when they're swinging the rock, when they're moving the ball, that's a very unstoppable offense. And then you look at even the Pacers, they've been good to an extent. Like they're still, like the Thunder cause a bunch of turnovers anyways. You still got to try to get that down, because if you don't, it's just going to create more opportunities for the Thunder, more fast break or points off turns. That's going to really increase the deficit. That's going to make it harder. Let's say if you're down 15 in the fourth and you got to try to make another comeback, and this Thunder team doesn't seem as susceptible as maybe the Knicks were or the Cavaliers. Like this Thunder team's gonna they blew it once, but now they're gonna come in, and if they get in a situation like that again, they're gonna find a way to lock it down. You're not gonna see Mark Dayton-Hall give AJ Mitchell minutes just because they're up like 18 or something. Like he's gonna play his guys to make sure they keep that lead.
Yeah, most definitely, Caden. I definitely see that point of the argument. I'm going to go on the flip side, though. I'm riding with Indiana. I think back at home, they're going to have the momentum. Brett kind of alluded to this, shout out Brett on the pod, that they were almost kind of waiting and gearing up, knowing that they were going to get a lot from OKC and kind of saving some energy towards this next home game. I don't know if that's really true with how much of a gap they have, but it is something to keep in mind with the fact that, yes, they got blown out so bad. They're kind of ready to refocus, regroup, and I think they realize how important of a game this is. They're going to have to come out and play scrappy. I expect Nembhard, and company, and the surrounding cast around not just Pascal Siakam and, Tyrese Haliburton to come and step up. Obi Toppin, like you said, struggled shooting. He's on the road. I think at home, instantly those numbers are going to go up. If he just gets a couple of those shots to fall, not as atrocious, keep it close. We know what they're going to do in the fourth quarter. We know what they're going to do with less than 2 minutes left. Just get it to clutch time. Be within that striking range, Caden. And I think that's how the Pacers get it done again.
Yeah, it seems like that's how they get a lot of their wins in the playoffs. They're within striking distance come clutch time or come fourth quarter, and then they just turn it on and find another level.
They do. It's really interesting. Either way, I'm excited, Caden. It's going to be interesting how that shapes up. Yep. Going into, a game 4, where do you see this with Oklahoma City winning this game 3 in your mind?
Yeah, I think by the time you see us again talking the NBA Finals, that would be probably it would be next Tuesday when you see, the next NBA pod. We'd be through game 3, be through game 4, and by that point, I think we see the Thunder up 3-1.
Wow. Wow. I disagree with you, Caden. Like I said, I think this one's gonna go split series. I or seven. I think this is gonna go 7 game series. I do think they split in Indiana, much like they did in Oklahoma City. I think the Pacers are gonna get this first one, and then I anticipate a nice rebuttal once again by Oklahoma City, probably in blowout fashion again, if I'm being honest, just because that's the way they find out how to do it.
Yep.
And that sets us up for an interesting Game 5 either way. I hope it's not 3-1, Caden, but the way you have been talking about the Thunder throughout those playoffs, everything has come to fruition. So, knock on wood.
And not just the playoffs. I've been talking about the Thunder all season.
You have for sure. I think that's all we have to cover for this pod, Caden. Are there any final thoughts, comments, questions, or concerns from you?
Yeah, if you guys did enjoy this episode, make sure to leave a like down below. Comment what do you think's going to happen in game 3 and 4 in Indiana? Are the Pacers going to be able to go up in the series or keep it tied at 2 going back to Oklahoma City? Turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload of the Untouchaballs podcast. Look out later this week because we'll have stuff for the U.S. Open. We'll have our MLB pod, maybe an interview later this weekend. And make sure you guys share this with your friends, family, strangers, neighbors, anything like that.
Most definitely. We appreciate you all as always. Thank you all for listening. We'll see you all next time.